everyone. This is Queen Cleopatra and we're watching the life of Queen Cleopatra. Today I have a very serious message that God had given me. It's about this situation in South Africa. Because at this stage, I want and God wants that every Africa should be united. But there are things, it seems to me, that are hidden through this March of March protests. God has revealed a lot of things to me. And I am the Queen of Africa. And I'm saying this to the leadership now. I'm the Queen of Africa. God has anointed me when I was 60. So God has put me in Africa. I'm African. I'm from Namibia. That I should, how would I say, be like a shadow leader over the leaders in Africa and the rest of the world because of the chaos that is erupting in the world, And God has put me there. There are others, but they are not here yet. And at this point, I'm representing all the pharaohs. I'm a representation of God's voice in a world that is chaotic and corrupt. So this is the message to the South African government, and this is from God. God is saying, and this relates completely to the March of March protest situation. And also I saw that one of the March of March leaders, his name is a bit difficult for me to say, but he's the one that had a meeting with President Ramaphosa. I think we all know which one that is, the guy. And yes, they excluded the girl, they excluded Jacinta. They excluded Jacinta. And even though I'm not completely for the way that Jacinta had done things, I understand her. I'm actually a little bit like her because I think that she saw a problem and she tried to fix it, and now she's being kind of crucified for it. But we know how that goes. We understand it. So this is to the South African government. And God is saying straight, He does not like hypocrisy. And this is all about hypocrisy, what's going on here. Because, as much as I have lived my life and, I've been with very rich people. I've also been in the location with poor people. So I understand the dynamic between rich and poor. And I myself, I come from a middle class family. So, I did not come from, how would I say, the location, but God put me in the location. I'd lived there, especially after I got married. I had lived there, as before my marriage broke. But anyway, I'd lived there. So I know all about how things are done in the location. I know all about how things are done higher up. But what I've noticed, even in my life, is that people of power rarely take responsibility for their part in a certain situation. You will never see them take responsibility. Because I think what has happened here is exactly that. Exactly that. And God is speaking to, I think there is one man that was speaking a lot, Mr. Mabalula. I think that is his surname. God has said that you have spoken a lot, but have you once gotten off your seat and gone into the protest? Have you once gotten off your seat and gone and stood in front, like Jacinta did, like her partner did with the March of March? You didn't once get off of your seat, because I just see somebody who's sitting on high and talking. It's very easy to sit on high and talk. I've been with people like that for most of my life. Growing up, I've seen that dynamic. I know how it works, because you do not want to get your hands dirty, and I'm talking to the president as well. Okay, one thing that I like the president did, he did meet with a March of March leaders, and he handled the situation very well. But one thing I want to tell him is, a true president gets his hands dirty. And also to Mr. Mabalula, it's time to get your hands dirty, sir. It is not good to sit on high. It's very easy to sit on high and to talk and to say who should have done what. Yes, there would not have been a shutdown, all these things, but did you see the reason for the shutdown? I'm not over what happened in South Africa, but I do understand. I do understand, and I know that especially Nigeria is becoming a big problem in Africa, and I want to speak to Nigeria. Nigeria, God has a very, very big message for you. You must stop going into the countries and destroying. All you do is you bring destruction wherever you go. I think Nigeria is a big problem and was a big instigator of people standing up against this illegal immigrants, because I think that had a lot to do with it. The trafficking, the raping of women. I know all about that stuff. I was almost trafficked myself. So I know about that. Where a friend of mine invited me there, and some guy from Ghana or Nigeria, he all of a sudden called and said that I must send my picture, how beautiful am I? And then I realized that this is not normal because they were going to traffic me. So it's not that we don't know, we know. I know exactly what's going on there. As much as I'm the queen of Africa, I'm also a normal person. But what I'm trying to say is this has to stop. But the problem is the leadership. You knew that these things were going on, but this is how power works. This is how power works. If you are a powerful person in the world, you will milk a situation, and you were milking that situation. You know all these things these criminals were doing, but you were milking that situation because you were gaining from it monetarily. And you won't tell me you were not. It's why you let it slide. Mafia, you let it slide because you were part. And this is what God is saying. I will no longer mince my words. And I'm not somebody that's known for lying. I'm known for telling it like it is. Just like with me, you see what you get, and that's it. So I'm telling you straight, the South African president, the cabinet, all of those who were involved in this, you gained from the chaos. Just like you gained from the marches. Yes, you gained. We know power like that. We know how power operates. You gain until you start seeing the people you gain from as a liability. So now, let me tell you your story, what you did. You decided, or you saw that people were becoming unruly, and as the powerful person that you are, you decided that it has to be dealt with. So, in your favor, these people came, Jacinta, or you got them or whatever and lied to them. They came and they said they will go and fight. Because I do not think that they are lying. I really think that they were fighting for something, because the person who lies will never go to the front. You will never risk your life. And you saw, okay, let them go to the front. We will sacrifice them later, because this is how power works. Power will never get its hands dirty. You will push somebody else to the front. I also went through that. I know what that's like. Push them to the front and maybe offer them money or something, but even money cannot make up for somebody else's life without guiding them how to do it. You saw their anger. You saw that other people were affected. Many homes were affected by illegal immigrants doing crime against these people. So this is not just about jobs. This is about the long-standing situation where people's lives were influenced by violence. Because I used to watch South African news and wonder, why is there so much crime? So this was part of the problem, but you did not want to fix it because, like I said, you were benefiting from it. So you pushed them to the front and told them, no, you go and fight. I know how that works. I know that conversation. You go and fight. And after they have fought, obviously I did give advice where I said that they should not continue with the violence. And it seemed like somebody listened. The other March of March leaders who went to meet with the president, that was a good thing we did, Mr. Ramaphosa. But what I'm trying to say is you should have gotten involved at the start of this fight. Not just Mr. Ramaphosa, the whole structure, the whole government of South Africa. You should have gotten involved before it came to that point and not have to sacrifice people because you let them fight in front and now you were looking for a scapegoat because somebody has to take the fall. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Somebody has to take the fall. This is not right. So they will take the fall, or she will take the fall. Because we saw other people, it wasn't just her. I saw one other woman, she was also annoyed. And if you see, these people are fighting for something. There is a backstory here. This is not just people that just stood up and fought. People are tired. Their lives are at risk. These illegal immigrants are harming them in their own country, so there is nothing wrong with that. And I want the other African countries to listen to what I'm saying. South Africa is not completely wrong for standing up and fighting against illegal immigrants. What I didn't like is that a lot of the videos, these people seem peaceful, but I don't know. And some of them had papers. But this is the lack of guidance from the government. This is a shadow way how the government fights its own people and is benefiting from harm coming to its own people, and that is disgusting. South African government. So I blame the government completely for this situation. I think this situation, because there were other months that I'd seen that municipality was failing in South Africa. This is how it slowly started. Sometimes there was no water. There was a lot of load shedding. So it's not just now. So the people had a right to stand up for themselves. There's nothing wrong with it. The way it was done, yes, this is maybe the problem. And we are sorry. It's a pity that some people had lost their lives which were innocent. But in any fight, in any battle, there will be casualties. This is the way that it works. But I blame the hypocrisy of the government. You should have dealt with this earlier. But like I said, because you were benefiting, you did not. And now you want to sacrifice. You want to sacrifice somebody because you stood in front. And this is my problem. Okay, that said, God will deal with you with that. So tread lightly. Now, the other March of March leader, he wants to go around Africa, and I want Africa to listen now. Around Africa, and he wants to basically preach about Ubuntu, about oneness. I want Africa to listen nicely. These people were now, okay, he had a meeting with President Ramaphosa. All right. So something was dealt with, apparently. Now he wants to go around Africa. I feel that Africa, we should see the bigger picture here. I do not know who's behind this whole thing, but this is a way to fragment South Africa. And if I can give Africa advice, because Africa needs South Africa, do not let whoever, I cannot see who is behind this whole thing, but this whole thing is very orchestrated very well to make it look like these two people or the March of March leaders are the problem. They are not the problem. This is a bigger picture, because if you isolate South Africa now, we will all suffer later on. So let us be smart. You see, in my life, God had taught me this, because I was always surrounded by people who betrayed me and people who were fake and people who looked like my friends, but they were not. They want you to turn against their own brothers and sister. Yes, they had done wrong, but just like in a family, you had hurt each other, but you, when you see the bigger picture, you will not let it divide you. They want to bring division because they want us to isolate South Africa because of what happened. Yes, we are very angry, but let us look at what is going on. Let us not let them win. Let us be smarter than that. Let us put those feelings aside. When I'm very angry with somebody, but I need them, I always put my feelings aside. You know, okay, let me tell you a story. I was actually a twin. I'm not one person, I was born two. But the other part was a male. And I was very close to my brother. Obviously, we were a twin. And one thing I learned from being a twin is there were times that we would fight. We were always fighting like cat and dog. But he always had my back. No matter how the fight was, no matter what we were fighting about, he always had my back. And I always had his back because we were a twin. I could not have his back because I was connected to him. Now the same thing with South Africa. South Africa is part of Africa, and South Africa is always connected with Africa. We cannot get rid of South Africa because its soul is part of Africa. But what they are doing, and this is the government, we have to blame the government. The government has allowed this fragmentation to happen, not the March of March leaders. I think these people really probably saw what was going on and they were just trying to fight. But they were fighting without guidance, and this is the government because they wanted to sacrifice them later on and put the blame on them. But look at the suits. You will always see a suit sitting on a chair. He will not get off. He will not go and fight in the front lines. And then afterwards, it's just because I actually saw this with another leader. Yes, with Mr. Mabula, something like that. I noticed that trend with him. I saw that he was not really involved when the protests were going on. I didn't hear him speak. But the moment the protest was over, he had a lot to say. I told him there would be no shutdown. Okay. It almost seemed like he was saying, I told them not to do it, but they didn't listen. But first of all, he knows that there is an issue with illegal immigrants. Did he help sort it out? He did not come and say, okay, I understand your problem. This is a real leader. Let us sort it out. Let me speak to the government and let us find a way to remove these people in a good way. He did not come in that way. But after, this is how Satan is. After everything is done, you'll see him coming. And then he will play the angel because he's the angel of light. This is the same situation. He will come like the angel that he is not, that he makes us believe. And then he will start accusing. Yes, I told them. But did he get off of his seat? Did he go and stand in front? I know how it feels to stand in front. I've stood in front many times in my life where my life is in danger too. So I understand Jacinta very well. I'm not against her. I just don't like how she did what she did. But I do understand. But Mr. Mabula, you did not get off your seat once. You did not go and stand in front once. You did not go off. Did you talk to the protesters? Not once. Because you were sitting happy, you have money. You didn't need to go down there. Your life was not in danger. But now you can easily make her the scapegoat or make them the scapegoat. So I want to tell Africa, the problem here is not the leaders. They are young. And you will always see a person in power will always go for the young. Because we are sacrificed easily. Okay, I'm not that young. But we are easily sacrificed. Because they have money, who cares? Because they do not care about the people. They care about their money. It's all they care about. And I can see this clearly with the South African government. You will never see them get off their seats and talk to the people themselves. The March of March leaders had to do that. They had to deal with the situation. And sometimes it was not easy to deal with the situation. So I ask Africa, do not let the government win. Do not let the South African government win. Because they are winning now. What's going to happen now is they're going to sit back and the situation will just, nothing will be done. Because if they wanted something to be done, they would implement a system whereby the illegal immigrants would be put through the system faster that they can leave the country, because nobody wants an illegal immigrant in the country to make nonsense. And I've had a personal experience with a Nigerian fake pastor who wanted to come and marry me, who made my life a living hell. He almost destroyed my life. You know what I mean? So I understand what Nigerians are capable of. I understand. So, not that I'm just against Nigerians. I'm sure there are also good Nigerians. I'm talking about people who are criminally minded. But yes, so I want to ask Africa, please give that March of March leader, just give him your ear. Let him talk to you about unity. Because I'm sure this is not all his fault. I see a government here, like I said, which had a plan. They are in that South Africa should be fragmented. Because I've seen something about President Ramaphosa. And President Ramaphosa, I'm going to speak plainly now. Money is your God. And God has already talked to me about this. You must bend your knee and ask forgiveness to God for this, that money is your God. You do not see people. And God will remove you. So, yes. Because I see a lot of the older people, you are not wise. You know, people always say wisdom comes with age. I do not think so. I think the young people are more wise. So, but my message to Africa is, do not isolate South Africa, then you will give the people who are in power what they want. They have thought that they have won. Let us welcome our brother and sister. Let us not isolate them, because this is the plan. They want us to isolate them so they can fragment South Africa, and then they will come for your states. This is the plan. Then they will come for the rest of Africa, because they've done it in South Africa. And I'm sure that they got a lot of money. I can tell you, the South African government probably got a lot of money for this. God showed me that. They got a lot of money for this, to let it slide. Because this is how power works. Just let it slide, don't do anything, and sacrifice the one in front. So this is my message to you. And I just want to tell anybody who maybe tries anything funny. I'm God's anointed. Where's my stuff? From home is stuff. And now I will do what God has told me to do, because I'm tired of leadership that sacrifice the innocent and sacrifice people who are just trying to help. Because this is the thing now. If I'm a leader, I eat money. This is my staff. I direct my staff against the South African government, that God will deal with whatever is going on there. You will not fragment South Africa, and you will not sit and let it happen, and you will not allow the rest of Africa to be fragmented, because you are causing disunity by your laid-back, cowardice attitude. And God has given me a lot of authority that you cannot see. But whenever I speak, things happen, because it's not just me speaking, God speaks with me. So stop with this, that you sit back and you do not help your people. You are not helping your people. South Africa is not just anarchy because of the protests. There has been anarchy the whole time, because the municipal systems, all the social systems have been degrading over a period of time already. Criminal activities. I know there was a few stories. There was at some point that I didn't even look at South African news anymore, because the stories were too harrowing. I could not sleep at night. Children being raped, women being raped, all these things. The violence, it was too much. And I think people have had enough, but this is maybe the reason. The illegal immigrants, the Nigerians becoming drug lords, selling drugs, trafficking women and children, these things, and nothing having been done. So South African government, God is speaking to you. Stand up for your people. Stop sacrificing the march of much leaders. Yes, they are maybe not perfect. A lot of things have happened under their care, but they are young, and you did not give them guidance. You did not give them guidance. So God is saying to the march of much leaders, God is with you. God understands. But the big thing is, God will not let Africa be destroyed, because you are using South Africa and you have received money. I see it, that you can let it slide, so South Africa can be destroyed. And then next, because I'm telling you, if they've come from South Africa, they will come to the other governments. And I'm warning all this leadership in Africa, these presidents, stop sacrificing and selling out your own people, because this is what you are doing. God is showing me you are selling out your people, your nations, to the structure up there. The structure up there has fallen. They do not have the power they once had. God will soon put me in the place that I belong, and you will see it. So stop with this. Stop trying to fragment what is not yours to fragment. South Africa is not yours to fragment. I told you. Africa belongs to me, and I will come for you. The power I have is not of here. It's not the power that you have sitting in your seat. It's power that God has given me. So I can come at any time. God has given me the power that I can come at any time. Some of you will start to have dreams. God is telling me, I must tell you, some of these presidents in Africa and all over the world, even the Freemasons, even those up there who think they are God, God is going to start speaking to you through dreams. He will come and visit you. You will start seeing him, because your time is over. He will remove you. He will pass by you. Some of you will be no longer God will pass by you. He will remove the cloaks of old, is what he's saying. He will remove the dusty old cloaks, and he will put in new cloaks. New leaders will arise, like me. New people will be put into powerful positions, because there is a big change coming in the world. New empires will arise. New leaders will arise, because the system needs to change. So this is my word to all of you. This is not to defend you, but it is to bring order. Because this thing, the governments are selling out their people in these things. It is causing disunity, and we want unity. The light is listening. The angelic beings and armies, they are here. The pharaohs are standing right here. The king of Egypt is also standing here. All of us are here. I am just the face you see, but they are all here. So this is the word God has given me. This is also the word of the pharaohs. This is the word of the angels and all the beings. Those also that is up there that is watching. Yes. So let us be leaders that God is called. Because if you are not going to go with the structure that heaven is trying to put in place down on earth here, where we become one, you will be removed. And you can say about me what you want. I do not care. I am God's anointed. God has given me the ability. I am the Queen of Africa. Ultimately, I'm the Queen of this world. So this is what I'm saying. And I'm pleading with Africa. Let the much leader, the one who wants to go around and speak to you, let him speak to you. Give him your ear. I know you might not like him. You do not always have to, even if you don't like somebody, you do not have to discard them. Listen, maybe he's realized something that you have not realized. So let him talk to you, because I know always with talking, there is communication. And President Ramaphosa, you can be a great leader. God is showing me that. You have it in you. You must just bring it out. You can be the greatest leader in Africa. I've seen that, because you are patient. You have a kind heart. But somewhere along the line, corruption has crept in. And God wants to fix that. So he wants you to stand up and to bring South Africa back. You know, let South Africa not fall. Let it not be destroyed, because South Africa is a very special place in God's heart. It also has a special place in Africa. You know, it's where apartheid happened. It's where apartheid was healed. It's where, you know, that Africa Ubuntu spirit started. Because after apartheid, South Africa was like the place, you know, where everybody started coming, you know, this cosmopolitan air, all the African countries started to come in there until this started to happen. So let us not let that spirit in South Africa be destroyed, you know. Yeah, and the South African people are not bad people. They are nice people. When I was there, they are nice people. Okay, maybe I was part of South Africa, but we have a different culture now, because we are no longer part of South Africa. But I have family in South Africa, and also when I came there, South African people are really nice people. I just think they're fed up. So let us see it for what it is. Okay, and to all the other African countries, please look at the people in your country who you send out. Do not let people who have bad character go to other countries and go and cause havoc, because this is what has brought about this situation. These people went to South Africa, and they were not adding to the South African experience. They were destroying. So yes, if the other governments are also regulating who is going to other countries, these things will not happen. So this is my message. One world, one love, one Africa. Well, obviously, if I say one world, that means one Africa. But I'm saying that specifically, one Africa and then one world. And Africa, anyway, is the cradle of the universe. It's the cradle of civilization. So Africa cannot be destroyed. This is why they want to destroy Africa, because it's where everything started. But they do not know, if you destroy Africa, you destroy yourself. Yes. Because just like in the beginning, at the end, everything will return back to Africa. This is the way that it is. So I love you all. I hope that all of you have a wonderful day and that you have peace of mind, peace of heart, peace in your souls, and you will stay calm. And let us develop a new mindset where we think before we act and where we look at a situation first and see the whole story, the bigger picture, just like in the situation before we react. So this is my message, and I will also later on make another video about mindset. I just feel that Africa needs a new mindset. So this is Queen Cleopatra. Thank you.